Good morning, guys. Today is Monday, April the 27th, and we're still working on subject verb agreement and language. So if you'll get your language book and turn with me to page 231, just a little bit of review before we add to it. Last week we were talking about subject verb agreement, and we learned that a singular verb usually has an S on the end. So a singular subject takes a singular verb. An example would be, our teacher sings well. That's not your teacher, is it? An example of a plural subject would be, the choir members, more than one, sing well. So if you have a plural subject, you want a plural verb. And the plural verbs usually do not end in S. If you have a singular subject, you want a singular verb. And the singular verbs most of the time end in S. Am is one of those examples where the word does not end in S. So we practiced over on page 232, and some of the examples were, a student recites, but a student recites. She says, but they say. Friendship is wonderful, or friendships are awesome. We sang, but I sang. Today we're going to continue on that concept, but we're going to talk about compound subjects, picking out verbs to go with compound subjects. But before I do that, look over on 233. We talked about this last week, but I just want to remind you that when you're doing subject-verb agreement, if the word has a prepositional phrase in it, if you will take that prepositional phrase out while you're checking for your verb, it will make it much easier. Look at number 1 on page 233. The sound of many voices were heard. What's that prepositional phrase? That's right, Julianne. Of many voices. So if you take your pencil and just lightly mark that out, now you've got the sound was or were heard. The sound, is it singular or plural? It's singular. Which one of those verbs end in an S? Was. The sound was heard. Now let's put the whole sentence back together. The sound of many voices was heard. See how easy that is when you take the prepositional phrase out? Now today's lesson's on page 235. And we're talking about compound subjects that are joined by and. Now, when we talked about compound subjects, when we were diagramming, we have a compound subject. How many subjects is that? Good job, Solomon. That means we're looking for 2 or more, correct? So, if I'm looking at Mr. Stevens and his family have gone on vacation, the subject would be Zoe. The subject would be Mr. Stevens and family. Mr. Stevens and family did what? They have gone. Good job. Grace, look at the second one. A math book and a sweater were left on the bus. What's the subject in the sentence? Book, sweater. The book and the sweater what? Were left. A math book and a sweater were left on the bus. Let's look at number 1 under Think A. The coat and its mother are playing in the field. What is the subject? Coat, mother. Coat, mother. That's a compound subject, so it means it's how many subjects? It's more than one. So if you're using more than one, you're going to look for which verb? The plural verb. So coat, The colt and its mother are playing in the field. Let's try one more. The girl and her brother know the answer. Elijah, what's the compound subject in that sentence? Girl and brother. Can you underline girl and brother? Now we need to know the verb. And since the verb is going to have to be plural because we have two subjects, which one of those verbs does not have an S on it? No. Let's see if that works. The girl and her brother know the answer. Good job, guys. You're going to practice some more on this concept on page 235 and 236. Tomorrow you do have a language quiz. It will be on subject-verb agreement. A student recites. The students recite. Just practice that today and you'll do fine on that quiz tomorrow. Have a good day.